Hi Beauty Fam, I thought I would do a get ready with me as I'm getting ready for work. I have my lurker back there, my beauty buddy. I'm gonna start off with some Sisley Double Tenseur Primer. I need to use this up. I've been kind of just putting it on the wayside. It's like a beautiful skincare gel primer. It's my favorite primer in my collection and I need to start using it up because it's gonna reach its shelf life. And definitely once it's gone, I'm definitely going to repurchase it because it's not just primer, it's just really also skincare for me. And it's probably the primer where my makeup goes on the most beautifully. And then I do some eye prep. Even though I put some eye cream on, I use this for when I'm doing makeup. This is the Chanel Hydra Beauty Micro Gel Yeux. And I think they've discontinued this mechanism. I think it's in a jar now, which is such a shame because I just love these mechanisms where it's just a pump in a tube or a like easy kind of mechanism like this. I don't want to mess with jars. So you can see it just adds hydration to the area. And at my age, I just am noticing I'm needing more hydration under my eyes as I'm aging. So if you're finding like you have really crepey or dry eyes, under eyes when you're doing makeup especially, maybe check out Chanel or some sort of gel application. Sometimes I find lotion can pill or give you milia, but this has been something I've been using for close to 3 years. I had my skincare down and SPF down, so just wanted to mention that. I'm going to use my OG old favorites. This is the Clé de Peau Radiant Fluid Foundation Natural. It is broad spectrum SPF 25. I wouldn't rely on this for my sunscreen, but I'm glad it also has sunscreen. This is probably one of my favorite luxury beauty foundations because it's kind of a satiny matte, a natural finish. And with my oils throughout the day, it just ends up looking really beautiful. I have it in 2 shades because I have a winter shade and a summer shade. My winter shade is 040 or Oco 40, and it's definitely a little bit lighter. You can see where a little bit more of my olive tone can come through. And then my summer shade is BF50 Tan Buff, and I'll show it to you this way. So you can see where there's like a little bit of an olive undertone more for this one, where this is more, here, I don't know if I can show you. You can see where I love to mix these two because it just depends on where I'm at in my season. Okay, so I'm shaking this. This is 040. I did 1 pump of that. I think if I remember, the current combination I have is 1 pump of this and like maybe 2 pumps of this, a pump and a half. And then I like to mix them up together. But you can see how I love to cocktail a lot of my foundations too. Okay, so I usually take the end of a clean brush. I don't know if this is the most hygienic. I am not a makeup artist. I am just a regular person like a lot of you. So I just take the end of a clean brush and then just take out whatever remaining's there. And or I might put some right here like that. Not the most elegant way to do makeup, but it is what it is. And then I'm taking a brush. This is my Fupa KOYUDO brush. This is one of my favorite foundation brushes, and I'm working the product into the brush. And you can see how it just ends up that those 2 shades for me cocktailed together just ends up being just a really natural shade for me, at least close to as I can get to my natural shade. Sorry, I'm trying to fight the sunlight here. I have sunlight going and I have a tree in front of my window, so it's just the lighting keeps fluctuating. I have some leftover and I don't need that much. Where I do, if I have leftover, I'll kind of spot treat the areas where I might have more redness or darkness. So I have some darkness down here because of my hyperpigmentation and then some scarring here. So I'm gonna go back in here. And that's it. So I'm not going to use any more of this. All right, I had to draw the shades because it was messing me up. So I have some ring light on and a natural lighting. Okay, so because I want a more natural finish, I'm just taking a beauty blender. It's dry. I'm just pressing any product into the skin. Like just really, I should actually, if I were more gentle, I'd be rolling it in. But I'm actually trying to do my makeup really quick before I go to work. Okay, and what that does is pushes the foundation into the skin and also removes any excess that I had because I just didn't want to put too much because then it starts to look cakey. So I am trying out the Huda Beauty Concealer Faux Filter. This is the shade Peach. And I've been waiting for the Natasha Denona one to come back in stock for a better shade match. So this is peachy, I said, and so far so good. I think it's a good shade match in terms of a corrector. I don't know about the formula. I still think I like the Natasha Denona corrector. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and buy that, because although this is a really nice shade, this corrector is kind of, you'll see it, it's a little bit thin. I'll get in close and personal, where it's a bit streaky. And maybe it doesn't need to be like not streaky because it's just corrector. And like that's good enough. So let me know if you have expertise in corrector and stuff. I've been using corrector for years. I want it to be a little bit less streaky, because then I don't know, it just seems like it would be more like, it would be better at covering consistently the dark circles. So that is peachy, and I think it's okay so far, so I'll keep trying it. And this is the Natasha Denona that I'm talking about. It's too orange, so I want something a little bit lighter than this, and this is in the shade C4, so I might just go ahead and buy C3 online. So I'm grabbing my tried and true combo of concealer, and this is what I use when I'm having a busy day or an event. I use the Pat McGrath concealer, and I use shade LM14, and I just go ahead and dot these here. And then take LM11 and dot that here. Okay, I took a damp beauty blender, and I'm just kind of pushing this in. And if I had more time this morning, I would have put under eye gel patches. I just didn't have time this morning, but those definitely work for me for sure. Okay, I've not done my hair yet. I'm having like severe flyaways here. Okay, so it looks okay. I think where I might add a little, do I don't want to add a little more? I'm just gonna use powder, and then hopefully it'll be okay. And I'm taking my Pat McGrath powder in yellow, and then my SURRATT brush. This is squirrel hair, excuse me, and this is squirrel hair. This is the Grande brush, and I love it because it's has a yellow undertone. So for me, again, it just kind of helps with some under eye circles, or yeah, some circles, because it's a bit yellow. Just running that underneath. And I've been rotating between this one and the WESTMAN Atelier. I like the WESTMAN Atelier for every day, but if I'm going into work and I need this whole face to last, I just bring out the big guns. I just curled my lashes with the SURRATT Relevée lash curler. This is the best lash curler I've tried so far. It's so great, even with Asian lashes. But I've also been using lash serum, which I had reviewed in one of my YouTube videos. It's great. If you want to know what the lash I'll try to remember to put the link to the lash curler or the lash growth serum I'm using. It's great. It doesn't thicken my lashes. It's more growth serum. But what I'm noticing about my lashes is that it grows my lashes inconsistently. So I still have some shorties in there, and then some long ones, and it does look a little weird, but I'll take what I can get. Before I powder down, I'm going to take my WESTMAN Atelier contour stick and truffle. And I think this is really the best way to do it. I always do this, not always, but I sometimes just rub it on there, and I don't think that's the best application. I really think this is the best. I put it on my hand, and then I put it on here. There we go. I love this brush. This is the Sony G Sheer Buffer. This is something I got from the Lucky Bag this year. And I wasn't convinced it was going to be a good, like, cream application brush. It's so good. It's so good. I will not doubt you again, Sony G. Like, my favorite brushes from her are the Fusion series, because they're for cream and liquid. And I have not found any brush on the market, like face brush, that can do the magic of what her brushes do. So that is one side contoured, no contouring. And what I do to make it last throughout the day is I'll powder down. It's a little bit kind of pseudo underpainting. And then I'll put some powder on in order for the look to last throughout the day. Because I have oily skin, it won't, for me, just doing cream products alone doesn't last for me. And cream products for like makeup last for some people. They just don't. I've tried. And that's why I really generally don't like cream blushes. Okay. So put some back here so it doesn't look weird either. So I'm putting a little bit more because I'm going to powder down and I'll lose some of this. And then I'm going to do some of that. And my two favorite powders right now are, and they have been always, are the Sisley loose powder in Matte 2, and then the Givenchy Prisme Libre. The only thing about this one, I think this looks more beautiful, like super flawless, poreless, like just like your face is like a porcelain doll. It just has perfume in it, but it somewhat dissipates, but some people might not like that. This doesn't have any scent. I want a more natural look. I'm not trying to look super snatched at work, so I'm gonna take my Sisley, and actually I'm not gonna do it this way. I am actually I'm gonna take a powder puff and roll some of that and pat it into my skin. And that's Sisley. I just love this powder because I've tried a lot of powders and it's the one that has like the least fuss. Like I can just be really sloppy and it looks really beautiful. All right, so now that I powdered down, you can see I lost some of that bronzer, but then I'm just gonna go, or contour bronzer, I'm just gonna go. I didn't add any more product to my face. It's whatever was on the brush. And for me, I love contouring. I think this contouring and lipstick are the things that got me back into makeup again, bronzing and contouring, because it just added a new dimension of like how I could use makeup to change how and enhance how my face looks. And because my face is more round, I love to use bronzer and contour to add more depth and dimension. Going into my OG Holy Grail KEVYN AUCOIN contour, and this is in the shade Deep. I think this is like the best contour product that I've ever tried, and I think he was like the OG. He's passed since, but he was like the OG who really back maybe 10-20 years ago that created contouring. And I think he like did contouring. He's really worked with J-Lo and created her look of bronzing and contouring. And for me who has a round face, like it's a game changer. And I don't do contouring to change completely how my look is. I think there's some people who do that. That's just not for me. Let's take some of this down here. I'm using a Sony G Lotus Detail brush. Gosh, I love this brush series too. If she ever releases this brush series, do not sleep on it. I would say, like, I would actually get another set of these. This is how good it is. I used some Hourglass eye primer, and now I'm going to set my eyes, and it's something that I usually do. I'm using then powder over it. If I don't set it, it tends to crease, and I like to use the light color because anything I put over my primed eyes, like it is a little bit lighter to cancel out any color. It kind of pops more, right? Because there's like a blank primed canvas. Okay, I'm gonna do a pretty boring look. This is the Armani liquid 22 matte. It's these liquid kind of products. And I just go ahead and just put them on. These are so light that it's pretty forgiving. And yeah, I got these at a Nordstrom sale. These came in a duo, and I had never tried these before, and they're great. This is a matte color. I believe it's the color Cashew. And what I like about these is that they don't go on super pigmented, but they're buildable, so I have time to play. They're not like the Danessa Myricks Color Fix. Like, I've used those before and I put them down. I'm like, oh my God, it's so pigmented. I would say these are kind of like boring colors for the non-adventurous. I just have these on standby when I want like an easy one and done, or like maybe one or two different, like a base really, because I could just stop there and I think it looks pretty enough. I'm gonna run whatever I have underneath here. Again, so it's dried down by now, but there, you do have some dry down time. And again, it's buildable. So this is Cashew. If you're my skin tone and have like a perfect brown that you use a base, let me know, because always everybody has like a perfect brown they use for their crease or whatnot. So it came in this set with this. This is, oh gosh, I don't know what color this is. It doesn't say. It came in a duo, so you can use this as your shimmer shade. I'm also looking at my Chanel Brune Talpa. Yeah, I think I want to use that as a little bit of a base first. I'm going to actually grab this. I love this Brune Talpa. I was using the Dior Beige Mitza for a while, but I like this more because I feel like I have more control over it, of its intensity, in that it's not super intense. I get that. Like the Beige Mitza is definitely like va-va-voom, like it has more dimension. It's just more beautiful, really, quite honestly. But for me, I just want a little bit more control of my products. Now I'm going over with that lighter one. This is Armani. I think it's number 9. It's like a shimmer shade. And then using that same brush from the Chanel, just kind of blurring out the edges here, because I want that to be like my pop in the center. And again, you have time to like manipulate the product, and it does dry down. And I have oily lids. I did prime them, but this is kind of like what I do for work. Like I use those two alone, and then since I got the Brune Talpa, I've added that to my makeup routine. I grabbed my Sisley Matte Chestnut eyeliner. This is really one of my favorite eyeliners. Everyone talks about Victoria Beckham. They're great, but they're a little bit too smudgy for me. I think they're a great smudging liner if that's what you do. I am looking for like something that's ease of like slapping on my upper lid and that won't smudge, because I have hooded lids and oily lids. So if I use that Victoria Beckham, I will have raccoon eyes in 2 or 3 hours. And it doesn't matter if I set it with liner or powder, I will have raccoon eyes. So I love this Sisley liner. It's really stupid expensive because Sisley is really just an expensive brand. But I love these liners because they're twist ups and I don't have to keep sharpening. I've used the Victoria Beckham, and because they're so emollient, the nib has fallen off while I've used them. And also because I'm using it for precision too. Like the Victoria Beckham doesn't really cut it in terms of precision of putting it on my upper eyelids. If you know what you know what I mean. Like this, because it's a small, it's like a roll up, there's just more precision on where the makeup goes, and I don't get that with Victoria Beckham. The only other liner that I love also, and it's not gel based or anything, is the Wayne Goss liners. And in fact, now I'm then talking about it before. I know he's reformulating his brand. I think I'm wondering if those are going to go on sale, because I want to get those before they go on sale or like they get discontinued. They're a classic kohl pencil, and they're made of wood. You sharpen them, they stay sharpened, the nib stays sharpened. And I don't find that the case to be Victoria Beckham. They're just really emollient. Like I've gotten Victoria Beckham. Can you see how that was just so easy? The Victoria Beckham I've gotten in the mail, and then like with broken nibs. It's not cool. And it just shows how emollient it is. It is what it is. And then I like to go in with liquid liner. This is Autographique SURRATT liner. and the color is brown. It's less intense. I mean, liquid liners are intense already. That's why I love brown. This is my most used liquid liner in my collection. I have to be quiet. I can't talk and do liquid liner. And the reason I do the pencil first is because I'm aging, so I have like lines and crevices in there, and I'm finding it's harder using liquid liner. It just skips more. It's not as, and it's nothing to do with the liner, it's because I'm aging. So I use the regular liner as like a base to lay it down, and then to fill in any gaps. And then the liquid liner, for me, I have oily skin, and it just kind of just keeps an all day snatched look. It looks beautiful. I don't want bold. I don't really want bold eyelashes or brows today, so I'm just taking the Tom Ford eyebrow gel of whatever little I had of that remaining, and just trying to fill in the gaps. This is the lazy person. It's not lazy, but like I don't have time to fill my lashes at this point, or my eyebrows. I have like some errant baby hairs here that just do whatever they want. I don't have a big forehead, so I'm always like having to move aside my baby hairs that just, they go rogue. Y'all have those too, I know you do. So I'm just kind of filling in so it looks super, just more natural, or at least tamed. I'm grabbing my Christian Dior 051 Peachy Bronze, and I'll do maybe, I don't know if I'll do a video of this, but I'm definitely reaching for this one more, taking my Niji Pro. I do like this bronzer combo definitely more than that Chanel Le Beige. And if you're not on YouTube with me, I did a whole review of this Dior product in the lighter one, 031, and 051. This is the darker one. And it can't go deeper. I'm just being really, really careful not to go super deep with it, because then it's going to look too dramatic. And this is how I do my contouring and bronzing. Then it lasts all day, because yeah, it'll just slide off my face with my natural oils. I just think it's it's an easier product for me. It's less skippy, that's not a big word. The Le Beige is a bit patchy for me, and I'm not a fan of it anymore. I'm kind of regret buying the two that I did, but that's for another day. And this doesn't really match, but I really want to use this blush. I am in the process of, excuse me, editing my video of this. And this is the Addiction Tokyo blush. Being careful, because the first time I tried it in my review, it fell out of the pan. This is the shade Sky Flower. Cut pigment, that is. And then just going up here. So pretty. Look at that. I feel like this is, okay, so Rare Beauty came out with her blushes. I feel like this is the adults version of the shimmery blushes before, like they were doing it before Selena, Rare Beauty. And I would say they're probably doing it better because this is Japanese technology. Look how beautiful that is. And I went to the store and it looked like so shimmery. I was afraid it was going to add texture, but this does not add texture. It is so, so pretty. Okay, over blush on that side. So I'm going to even this out and then kind of balance it out. Look how pretty that is. I think my dog approves. Yeah, so pretty. I really want to get more of these. This is the Pearl formula. A lot of you had told me to get the Pearl formula of Addiction Tokyo, and now I know why. Okay, I didn't show you, but I finished with putting mascara, Chanel, Volume de Chanel, my favorite volumizing mascara. It's probably my holy grail mascara in my collection. I cannot get over this blush. Look how pretty it is. So I just need to buff out my face. I'm going to do a finishing powder and I got a motor. I am getting late. So, excuse me, I'm going to grab my Chantecaille translucent, like, what is this called? It always has a long name. Y'all know what it is. It's been on the market for a while. It just blurs and it's like a finishing powder. Look this side. Look how beautiful that is. Just filter. I mean, the other side's pretty too, but after I use this powder, if there's one thing that Chantecaille does really well, they do a lot of things really well, but it's their powders. My goodness. I have not seen anyone else on the market that does powders like Chantecaille. And I think this is like my third repurchase of this product. It's that good. Okay, using a liner. This is a Makeup Forever Anywhere Caffeine. It's okay. My OGs are Lisa Eldridge. 1N and 2N, but they are... I don't have time to run get them. They're in my purse. They're that good. I leave them in my purse because just doing liner and gloss just is... They're the best liners I've tried, at least the colors wise. But just as Anywhere Caffeine, yeah, Makeup Forever. And then I'm grabbing this beautiful color. This is the Addiction Tokyo Wise with Age. It's like this pink neutral. I don't want to put it up too high because it's very emollient. How pretty that color is. Oh, so pretty. So pretty. Love this formula. The packaging is it's just so sleek. Look at that. Okay, so that's the finished look. Thanks for getting ready with me today, Beauty Fam. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know what you think of this, and I'm off to work.